There was a guy did a study on it. He's a satanic cult expert from Northern Ireland, and his conclusion is straightforward. He says that this couple were Satanists. Fred, when he was arrested, stated that he would talk to the devil, and he claimed to be a devil worshipper. So even out of his own, admission, this has come out. Fred's son, when he was interviewed, said that my father was involved in a cult, and there was many of them, and he was involved in something called the Barn Club. So there was information that Fred would take these victims to a barn. There were 2 barns that he would use, right? The bodies were taken there. They were disused farm warehouses, and over a period of days, this cult would meet, and over a period of days, the victims would be tortured and killed, and then their bodies disposed of, right? And then digits removed and various body parts removed. A lot of it is Baal worship. This is going back to antiquity. This is going Babylonian times. This is going right back, to the dawn of civilization time. Baal worship, and this is what we're seeing: the worship of these demonic entities, these ancient demonic entities. One of the West children was saying that at the bar, which was called the Black Magic Bar, there is a huge relevance in that. Kids were saying that at the Black Magic Bar, there would be customers there, punters there, that were in suits, and some of them were police officers, local police officers, and that these police officers were also having sex with Rose.
She described her obsession with Ian to her prison chaplain, Father Michael Teder.
He introduced her to a different way of life. He took her really out of that very poor working class background that she was growing in. He showed her other things. I think he was probably an exciting man. Sometimes he would buy her things, he would take her out, and then suddenly he would stop all of that and move away from her and not speak to her and ignore her. So when he went back, she welcomed him back.
He went off by himself, saying he needed new experiences, visiting the Rembrandt pub in Manchester, then and now a gay bar. Myra said later that Ian had homosexual relationships at this time. Myra, feeling if Ian could have such adventures, so could she, began an affair with a policeman called Norman Sutton. She told Ian about the relationship.
He said he thought it was absolutely hilarious that she'd been having sex with a policeman whilst they were killing children.
Well, our reporter, Porrick O'Brien, is with me now. Porrick.
Well, Chris, we've known for some time that Savile had a relationship with officers from West Yorkshire Police. We knew, for example, that some of them were regulars at his Friday morning breakfast club, his inner circle, basically, that would meet every Friday morning in his flat in Leeds. But bit by bit, we're getting more insight into the mechanics, if you like, of that relationship. So, for example, 4 years ago, Surrey Police were about to conduct an interview with Savile to question him over allegations of sexual abuse. We've learnt that ahead of that interview, an officer from West Yorkshire Police that was named today as Mick Starkey called Surrey ahead of the interview and spoke to them on Savile's behalf. Now, yesterday we reported on transcripts that were released of that interview that happened between Savile and Surrey. And in one excerpt, Savile explains what he does with what he describes as weirdo letters, letters that would have included letters from women that would have made allegations against him. He says he passes them on to a handful of officers at West Yorkshire Police. Some of the names in the interview are redacted, but it demonstrates how close Savile was to some members of West Yorkshire Police.
Who is it that you give those to?
I'm not sure. They've all got nicknames.
Well, what are their nicknames?
Well, one's called... What's the other one called? He's an inspector.
Is,
yeah. It's something they say, any more weirdos than Jim? I say yes. And they say, woohoo, ha-ha.
When you meet them socially, where do you meet them?
My place, yes. Yeah, they come round and drink tea and that.
Now, we also know from the police inspectorate last year that 𝗧𝗏𝗍𝗍 behaved almost as a secretary at points to Savile. So we were told that he had lost details of the arrangements of that interview, and 𝗧𝗏𝗍𝗍 rang ahead telling Surrey what Savile's number was so that they could ring and give him the arrangements again. Now,